For real?
Ok. Ai meu Deus, o que é que eu fiz? Ah! A música do jogo, espero que não esteja mais alto que minha voz, mas tá muito alto pra mim. Ah! Ah! Cadê? Preciso testar isso. Eu devia testar isso depois, né? Opa. É, eu tava tentando entender por que, que o áudio tá duplicando aqui. Eu não tenho ideia. Tem uma coisa esquisita aqui, mas eu não sei o que é não. Não, outra hora eu descubro. Tava pensando em fazer uma tier list dos casos de Dangarompa, mas como não tem ninguém aqui, não, só tentou aqui, não tem graça. Era melhor se tivesse mais gente. Depois eu faço então. Vamos, pra matar a princesa, caçar princesas. Novo jogo. Capítulo 1, o herói e a princesa. Ah, vai ser tão bom não ter que traduzir isso.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Caraca.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Caramba, é tão bom, tipo, é tão bom você só lê a mensagem e escutar a dublagem, você não tem que traduzir. Pô, é a melhor sensação possível. O volume, como é que tá o volume? Tá bom? Tá alto? É que pra mim tudo parece alto, aí eu tenho que saber do chat. Acho que tá, deve tá bom.
You're here to slay her.
Sei fala.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ok. Explorar o fim do mundo que está falando. Você já parou a pensar que o único motivo que ela tem pra destruir é porque ela foi trancada? Assassinar a princesa parece meio errado, não acha? Outra pessoa não poderia fazer isso. Pode esquecer, não farei. Você já parou a pensar que talvez eu não esteja. Eu não ligue para o fim do mundo? Eu vou ganhar uma recompensa com isso. Tudo bem. Obrigado por dizer o que fazer. Mas eu sempre quis acabar com a monarquia. Viva la revolución. Pá, 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 pá. Porra, meu chat tá bugado no celular aqui. Eu não tá conseguindo acompanhar não. Deixa eu ver agora se vai. Talvez agora vá. Acho que não vai não. Vou ter que abrir a transmissão. Bosta. Se a transmissão é pior. Não. Mas não, eu não gosto desse, eu não gosto muito disso não. Eu até tinha configurado uma época pra aparecer o chat, mas ele parou de sair. Porra. Eu não lembro onde eu deixo esse negócio aqui, que aqui tá na frente das opções. Acho que aqui embaixo tá suave. Acho que aí embaixo deve estar suave. Certo. O que é que eu faço primeiro? Pode
Are
ser,
you
não farei
serious?
isso.
No, you have to do it.
A pessoa não pode fazer isso não.
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't.
Ah, amigo. Você vai ficar querendo então, que eu não vou matar ninguém não, isso. Se eu botar a cabança, se ela for tomada, talvez eu seja preciso, mas eu não vou fazer isso sem ter chance de... Prosseguir silenciar, dar meia volta e ir embora.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Sim.
Do you even know where you're going?
Embora. Tudo bem, talvez. Tudo bem, eu vou. Sim, eu definitivamente. De jeito nenhum. A única coisa que importa é onde eu não estou indo. É isso aí.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Esse é o jogo do será, né,
Good.
velho?
What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part
Ah, a
in it.
voz do herói. Ah, é, a voz do herói já tá aqui, né? A gente já tem uma voz logo
Ignore
de
that
cara.
annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Ah, do esse jogo é muito bom.
That's strange.
Ué!
It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient.
Ah, droga, não posso clicar o mouse. Conveniente. Está tudo de volta aos trilhos. Talvez o mundo possa ser salvo. Dá meia volta de novo.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Nah, ninguém morre não. Tá suave. Eu não ligo, não forço as nobreza. Ótimo, talvez todos devessem morrer. É o que merece por me jogar no meio do nada pra assassinar alguém.
When I said everyone, I meant everyone. That's a pretty large group to just condemn to death over a single princess.
Nah.
And, last I checked, you're part of everyone too. So if you think about it, walking up to that cabin and slaying her is really in your best interests as well.
Nah.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Você vai onde voltou. Vamos embora, vamos.
Oh, would you look at that?
novo.
You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Será? Engraçado, a primeira vez eu joguei esse jogo pirata, agora eu tenho ele comprado. Inclusive o criador do jogo disse que não havia problema em você piratear o jogo se não tivesse dinheiro. Só ele pedia que depois você comprasse. Não adianta lutar contra isso, né? Ah, é bom. Eu acho que dessa vez vão dar a direção de novo. Na verdade, eu vou continuar andando, batendo na direção
There's
de sair
always a
daqui.
choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Será que estou?
And here we go.
Ah,
As you
acabou,
trudge
né?
into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
O que?
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Ih, ele quebrou meu cérebro,
In
mano.
every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need.
Aqui tem um... Ah, droga, assim, para a dublagem, né?
Wait, what's going on?
É isso mesmo, o que é que tá vendo, hein, mano?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Ah, então tu entendeu, é exatamente isso.
You've doomed us all.
Me
You know
irritar
that,
é um
right?
prazer, mano.
But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
Claro que iria.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Acabou. Capítulo 2, a estranha. Acabou.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Eu posso voltar de novo.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Eu posso voltar de novo. Você não estava brincando. Ela acabou mesmo com a última vez. Né? Que diabos é ela? Seu cretino, você não escapa. Tô cabendo seus truques. Ninguém acabando. Sim, tudo bem, acabando. Me aguarda, depois vou pra lá, princesa. As paredes não estavam aqui na última vez. Você não pode brincar. Tem umas paredes mesmo, velho.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Mano, é muito bom esse jogo, velho. Cara, esse jogo é muito bom. Opositor.
Captive audience.
É o
You might have
opositor.
walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we're going to ruin his day.
Vamos arruinar o
If by
dia dele.
ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world
See.
really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world
Será?
hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Desses patetas que tá na cara. É muito bom, velho. 25, tudo bem, vou pagar. Pois lá você
You know
fala,
I can
princesa.
tell when you're lying. Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
Você sabe que
A warning before you go any further.
parede. Ele realmente construiu uma muralha ao redor pra gente não fugir. É
She
muito
will
bom.
lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Yeah, don't
If we're
believe.
stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
Maybe.
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
É isso mesmo. Prosseguir até a cabana. Vamos lá.
The cabin interior is wrong. A
Ué.
confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space.
Tá bugado.
So shifted. An inch here,
As
a foot
cabanas
there,
todas se juntaram.
such that the
Muito
seams
bom.
are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
Muito bom, mano. Ó, tem todas aqui.
The blade
Ai.
is your implement. You'll
Pulou de
need
algo
it if
sem
you
querer.
want to do this right.
O que ele fala? O interior da cabana é deformado. A única digna de notar uma mesa comum com pernas para a cabana.
If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
Verdade, verdade, voz do opositor. Você tem muita razão.
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no
A gente
idea
vai-
what we're dealing with.
A gente vai entrar com a faca. A gente vai jogar a faca longe pra ganhar a confiança dela.
I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
Umas 3 ou 4 vezes mais.
You can't just say that. Not when everything here is so wrong.
É
Listen to
verdade.
me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world.
Save the world.
And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart.
Medo.
You cannot lose yourself
Medo.
before you even get to her.
Certo.
Oh, you've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we
Great
lose
vegetables.
ourselves?
Great vegetables.
Great veg.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us.
Que
I'm
eu
not going
vou
to
ser uma
stop
qualidade
doing
tão
my
ruim.
job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And
Aí um
quickly,
só,
if you don't mind.
qualidade ruim.
Yeah, what you're seeing
Ah,
here is
falei de
obviously
óculos.
real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard.
É isso aí, vamos.
Okay. Okay, I'm fine.
Ok, ok.
Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to
Já que
complete
foi.
a very important task.
Explorar, aproximar do espelho.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Ué,
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at
eu
least
tô
it'll
curioso pra
be
saber
a
os novos
mirror once we
finais.
wipe
Eles
off
disseram
that
4,
layer of
foram
grime.
4 ou 5 finais novos que eles adicionaram. Me pergunto se eu vou conseguir pegar um deles. Limpar o espelho.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
É, tenho muita noção do meu ridículo, beleza?
But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
É, vamos pegar o
You
punhal,
take
bora.
the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Sim,
Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that.
vai lá.
Then
Okay,
how are
no.
we supposed to hold it?
Como segurar
The
dele?
other way, thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom.
Concordo, eu concordo,
It
realmente.
really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
Segurar o punhal.
You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations.
Obrigado.
Yes! Isn't this so much better?
Eu concordo, fica muito melhor, fica muito mais militar um negócio desse, velho.
Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better.
Até a voz do herói.
It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess
Ela
already.
vai chegar e falar: Nossa, como você está ameaçador desse jeito, por favor. Por favor, que ela diga isso quando chegar. Entrar no porão. Ela tem que dar. Ela tem que.
The door to the basement
Porra,
creaks open,
isso,
revealing a
véi.
web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials.
Eu quebrei o negócio, mano. Quebrei a
Nothing
realidade.
here seems to belong. And the closer you examine your surroundings,
É
the more
quase Tártaro, né,
confused you
mano?
get.
Só que pra
Your head
baixo.
throbbing with the effort of
Acho
making
acho
sense
que
of
isso é
this
mais pra
place.
mementos,
None
mano.
of the stairs even seem to go anywhere.
Acho que tá mais pra mementos que a gente desce.
The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it,
Miasma,
a
meu
kind of
sangue,
indiscernible
meu
quality that
céu,
comes from the
meu
blending together of every scent there
palavra,
is
hein?
at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing.
Nauseante e
If the
vazio.
princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour.
Maybe.
Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
Ih, ela bugou também.
No, thank you.
Não, não, obrigado.
Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die.
Meu
But we
Deus.
already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he
Pois
threw
é.
up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure.
A gente já tentou isso e o que ele fez? Inventou uma parede.
And what's that? The fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
E pela ideia de escadaria central, macia direita. Vamos pela direita macia, vai.
You step to the right. The path feels soft and reassuring against your feet. The stairs almost seem to cradle you as you make your way down, like they're guiding your heels from one step directly to the next. You barely have to extend any effort to descend, the stairway doing most of the work for you. You don't feel like there's any concern that you might slip or tumble or lose your way. But the further you
Ih,
go,
rapaz.
the deeper you sink in. First,
Parece
it's
uma
like a
nuvem.
lovely plush carpet, your toes digging down and barely hitting any resistance at all. But soon enough, you're fighting just to keep your knees from sinking out of sight.
Eita.
The softness threatens to swallow you whole, to wrest control of your body and surround you in a false ethereal bliss, pretending to save you from the
Acho que eu vou
cruelties of
morrer.
choice and consequence. It's slow going, but you manage to fight against the overwhelming urge to fall back into comfort and nothingness, the very struggle to continue forward consuming your every thought.
É?
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears. and you can feel yourself begin to untether.
Olha, o mousezinho virou um corvo, filho.
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and
Tá me
emotions of
dando
the
sono,
journey,
mano.
a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Hein?
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion,
Que é
rivalry
isso?
and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as
Are you okay?
Ah? Eu acho que eu acho que a carreta acabou de pegar um final novo.
what the hell was that? What happened to us?
É.
I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
É. Sinto muito, eu pensei que eu estava aqui, a descida pra cá foi estranha, teve a sensação que me dividiram, depois me reentregaram. Sabe o que aconteceu comigo? Eu acho que eu vou nessa. Até não sei, sabe que eu estou aqui embaixo, pelo que eu vi, você é uma ameaça para o mundo, eu fui enviado para ceifar você.
I don't know what happened to you, but you look like you're in one piece now. But I understand. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either.
Yay!
We're
Ai,
probably
caralho.
stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out.
As the princess speaks again,
Vem.
it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back?
Reintegrá-las.
You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it.
Massa, a primeira run eu já quebrei tudo aqui. A primeira run foi a quebrar a
It seems to
princesa.
me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it?
É pena que ela não falou que a gente tava ameaçador com a faca, né?
Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here and you need to do it now.
Olha, o acordo era matar uma princesa. Tem duas princesas aqui. Eu não vou matar ninguém mais, tá?
Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of them.
Eu tô com opositor, vou fazer mais delas. Vou tirar você daqui de batalha. Ué, essas duas. Olha, tá bugado aqui, ó. Você que eu seleciono as duas. Ué. Você tem mais
Do you
versão de
need
você
help?
agora.
Not that there's much I can do chained up like this, but I'm the only one down here. So if you need anything, I'll do my best.
Ok.
I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger. There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
Pera aí, eu vou tirar aqui que tá atrapalhando a legenda, velho. Eu vou deixar isso aqui escondido. É. Porque por enquanto tá atrapalhando, então não vou deixar aí não.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are.
Como é que eu vou matar? Tem três
How
delas.
would we even do that? Where would we start?
Exato!
We would always start by stabbing her.
Não dá, tem três
Which
delas.
her? Any of them. I don't know about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you imagine?
É, mano, quem foi esse
I don't think we're going to
burro?
be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her.
Perdão, arroto.
It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
Ah, eu vou quebrar mais. Então, se você tá aqui por um motivo, pelo visto, eu vou ser o máximo quando eu fui. Ah, qual é o seu
You
nome?
can call me Princess if you'd like.
Tá bom.
Princess. It
Princess.
doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
Essa aqui é a normal. A inocente, no caso, talvez. Essa aqui é a triste, essa aqui eu não sei.
None of them have names.
Nenhuma delas tem nome.
How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
Esse jogo é basta, mano. Esse jogo aqui ele foi atualizado por corte do diretor, basicamente, e tem mais finais. Eu queria tentar libertar ela.
Wait, that's not right.
Espera, não é verdade.
Go on. You take a step
Eita
forward.
porra!
Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions.
Que?
All at once you charge forward, knife beaming to slay the princess just as you strike at her bindings and leave her to languish alone.
Eu fiz 5 finais de uma vez, mano.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess.
Eu tô fazendo todos os finais de uma vez. Que porra é
But
isso?
this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating.
Eu
Luckily
concordo.
for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before
Colapse.
falls apart.
Ok.
I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
Não.
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others,
They just don't fit. They just don't.
Ih, quebramos tudo. Eita, usando inteligência artificial pra fazer a...
we can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
É.
Did you do this? Did we do this?
Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
É,
We should help
não.
her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I
Verdade.
didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
Oi. Você destruiu tudo, não vou te consertar, não. Quem destruiu fui eu. Não, não acho que você precisa de conserto. Farei meu melhor, tudo vai ficar bem. Qual? Eu tô em dúvida. Eu tô em dúvida. Farei meu melhor e não acho que você precisa de conserto. Qual é que eu escolho? Essa aqui é fofinha pra ela e essa aqui é... Tá bom, vou tentar ajudar. Farei meu melhor, vamos lá. Eita porra. Bom, já foi a primeira, pelo visto. Foi rápido. É a ilusão da escolha. Quando tudo é possível, nada é. É tipo os jogos da Telltale, né? Você não sabe se ela teve sido simultâneo, respondeu e ela foi dando adiante.
She's gone.
Persona também é assim.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
O narrador
Yes.
se foi.
Does that mean the world ended?
Yes.
What are we supposed to do now?
Acho que só resta... Não sei pra onde ela foi.
Right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
Coisa feia.
Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Pro espelho, né? Só
There's
é espelho.
something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No, don't do that.
Why not? Vamos pro
I'm
espelho.
begging you, don't do this.
Não tem opção, o jogo não me dá opção. Ignorá-lo. Você por cima do espelho. Observar-se no reflexo. O silêncio toma conta ao avançar. Ele se for, mas o espelho permanece. Agora você vê o que há nele. O corpo é você. Olha eu. Você está em um lugar vazio. Está um silêncio. Prosseguir até a cabana. Você está na cabana. Aproximar-se dela.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Frágil como presente. Aspecto frágil.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own.
Ok.
These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths and wall. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart.
Eu me sinto muito tão cedo. É verdade.
Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
Foi muito cedo, não foi? Você conhece o narrador?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
Ih, eu sou o
The
narrador, né?
space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Eita. Você que me viu para você prendeu você sabe que você é a princesa, sabe os lugares. Nós nos conhecemos, o que acontece agora? Atacar a entidade, destruir seu corpo. Você que me
I
viu.
have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Free. Nossa liberdade. Você é a princesa?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Ok. Você sempre foi a princesa ou fez ela virar uma parte
You
sua?
speak in circles.
Só fala
Does it
assim.
matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Parece umas pessoas que começam falando. Este é o fim do mundo.
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Sei não, você me diz que tem uma coisa esquisita aqui no meio, na minha frente. O que é você?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Ah, eu sou as luzes cheias numa cidade cheia. É. Eu sou o contrário. Eu sou a escuridão numa cidade cheia.
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
Uhum. O que você acha que eu sou? Eu sou uma pessoa.
A person. A set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person.
Eita.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
É isso aí. O que vai acontecer agora?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
Ok.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Ok.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Então vamos trazer as coisas, né? Algumas pessoas sempre precisam encontrar.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Ok, isso não disse nada. Se eu ajudar lá, isso você vai fazer.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Você está perdendo significado, você vai fazer se eu ajudar lá.
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
E se eu não deixar que faça isso comigo, o que eu vou esquecer?
Everything. Until we meet again.
Until we meet again. Certo, faça-me
She
esquecer.
asks that I tell you to remember her.
Ela quer que você lembre dela.
You won't.
Você não vai. Ok. Tá bom. Coração rico e vibrante. Leve a estranha
You're
para
on a
ela.
path in the woods, and at
A
the end of
Lady
that path
Princess começa
is a
agora.
cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Eu tô curioso, eu quero ver essa conquista aí que, tipo, parece ser muito, sei lá, diferente. Acho que isso deve ser um novo final. Aqui é 50% que tem nessa aqui. Sabe, tem 131 conquistas nesse jogo. Tem 131 conquistas. Eu geralmente não lembro se esse aqui é 131. Eu não acredito que são 131 finais, porque tem conquistas iniciais e tal, mas acho que deve ter uns 50 pelo menos.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Seu programa já viu pressione Tab no teclado ou R1 no seu controle. Ah, esse jogo lançou pra PlayStation 5, é verdade, né, bicho? Você fala, Tab. No mundo que você tá falando, você parou pra pensar que tudo é porque ela foi trancada. Vamos direto dessa vez, vai. Tudo bem, obrigado, não sei o que
Don't
fazer.
mention it. It's all part of the job.
É isso aí.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Vamos
A
lá.
warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Taca
Don't
porra.
believe a word she says.
Mas aí inclui DLC, né? Normalmente essas que a conquista da Steam, ela junta todas as DLCs.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Ok. Consegui até acabando. O que é que a gente faz agora? A gente vai ainda fazer um final bonzinho agora, depois de quebrar o jogo, um final malzinho.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Ué, eu já vi esse
The
diálogo.
blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Ok. Eu pego. A gente vai fazer o quê? Tá bom, então vamos slay the princess.
You take
Bora.
the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Certo. Entrar no porão. Vamos ver como ela vai estar.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient
Qual é?
wood.
Outra muito pior.
If the
Essa casinha
princess
aqui tá
really
bem
lives
de
here,
boa.
slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Não é tão favor, não. É uma casinha
Her
legal.
voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Quem tá aí?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Ela está.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Ela tá com a voz meio desconfiada.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Ai!
Focus on the task at hand.
Aqui.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Não, ainda não decidi. Estou aqui pra conversar. Controlar o nervosismo e avançar. Eu vou aqui. Vamos fazer o que é que eu faço. Não.
Then drop the knife.
Então larga a faca.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare.
Nossa,
It's
peraí,
fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Isso. Segurar a faca com mais força.
You ignore the trembling in your
Eita,
hands
olha lá os
and
olhinhos
tighten
dela.
your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me?
Yes.
Because you should be.
Ok, I am.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Mantém-se firme.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Sim.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Sinto muito, não podemos só conversar. Soltar o punhal. Foda-se.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Ih, duvidou, hein?
A moment of distraction and
over.
hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
Ah lá.
Holy shit, that hurt!
Puta
Though she's
merda.
unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing.
Ih.
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
Boa, Sávio. Tá feliz com sua escolha.
We can still turn this around.
Pra terminar o serviço.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here, either.
Yes.
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now.
Sem
Can you not
arrependimentos,
feel
né?
all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
Yes.
The two of you
Ha!
clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade
Esse final eu já
deep into the
fiz.
princess's heart.
Esse primeiro, no caso. Eu vou tentar fazer diferente, o segundo.
Oh,
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
Eita.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
Foi divertido.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
Ah.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Tá. A adversária. Eu vou sem a faca agora.
You're
Só
on a
pra
path
dizer que eu
in
sou
the
inocente.
woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
End of the world. Estou tendo 60 vídeos já, vou esperar que tenha acontecido. Não. Mas eu morri, o que tá acontecendo aqui? Ah, bom.
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Será?
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning.
Nós não vamos
That's
ganhar.
the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Sim. Digamos que eu já esteja dizendo que a verdade é por que eu daria ouvidos a você, você não trabalha de vou bater a capa.
Those are two
Ah, droga,
very
bati errado.
different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Ou será porque eu escutei
We
demais?
did our best with the information we were given. And we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you?
So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I
Vamos.
believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Sim.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Different
Had you
world.
failed to slay the princess,
Literalmente,
what would have
velho.
happened to everyone in the place you left?
O cara não podia estar sóbrio não quando fez essa coisa, velho.
Enough with the talking. We've got a fight to win. Nothing else matters. I couldn't agree more.
Assina
The
embaixo.
captain and your destined confrontation with the princess awaits.
Tá bom, vamos lá. Prosseguir até a cabana. Eu vou sem a faca agora.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. Lying and cheating doesn't
Alright.
sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Tem certeza?
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice.
Quase nunca
The
falha.
princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal.
Clear.
Let's just get on with it already.
Até a cabana. Sim, tem muita coisa aberta nesse jogo. É impressionante. E a arte desse jogo é linda também.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Foi imaculado.
See? Even the cabin has the right idea. Let's
Tá uma
get
torre, parece uma
moving.
torre agora.
The blade is your
Você vai
implement.
precisar dele.
You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Nah. Espelhos para acabar de defender a última vez. Você não falou nada sobre espelho na parede. Entrar no
blade
porão.
this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is.
Fisty.
Probably more fair to her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win.
Ok.
As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind.
Nah. Ih, o espelho sumiu, ó. Eu não quero lutar.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and
Pesado,
tightening as you
sufocante,
descend.
cheiro tanto sulfúrico.
The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odour to it.
Ah, eu adoro não ter que
If
ler.
the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour.
Ai.
Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Ih, cadê como é que tá a voz dela?
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
Eita, ela tá
This
lutadora
isn't
agora,
what
ó.
she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
Ih,
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
both, actually.
As you descend the final
Eita
step,
porra!
the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she
Caralho.
could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Realmente. Joe estaria aqui coisado, velho.
Oh, it's you again. But no little.
Pelo visto você. Ah, você de novo. Fiquei torcendo você voltasse. É bom saber que a morte não é um obstáculo para nós dois.
No. I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
Eu vim pra bater papo, na verdade. Espero que tenha ouvido tudo, senado. É bem diferente da última vez. Não, eu vim pra te libertar. Não disse que vim aqui pra lutar, mas tem tantas coisas que eu tenho que fazer. Não se preocupe, estou afim do balão. Na verdade, só vim aqui ó, tacar desarmado. O punhal já está lá em cima, já volto. Eu enfrentarei uma demônio gigante, até mais. Você está diferente.
Aside from your empty hands,
Oh,
you look exactly the same.
Obrigado.
Alright, fine. I believe you. What?
Hmm?
What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously.
Realmente estaria.
You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Are you okay?
Eu acho
Of course
que não.
I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Ok. Nunca vi isso agora como gente. Beleza, me deixa tanto, então eu vou te levar ainda menos a sério. Você não sabe como minha apatia pode ser profunda. Quase tudo que você disse é verdade.
I know. You and the princess have been talking about it.
Yeah!
You don't have to be so snarky.
É verdade, não precisa ser irônico. Isso é, na verdade, eu vim te libertar.
Free her? You aren't. I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Não, sei não.
Who says I want to be free?
Eita! Você não quer liberdade que quer então?
I want the two of us to fight to the death. I want to feel your knife split my flesh. And I want to hear your bones snap beneath my fists.
Que é isso?
Is that really too much to ask?
Que é
Yeah.
isso?
Especially that last part.
Don't be such a coward.
Calma.
I'm just being cautious. If it comes to violence, we can find a way to deal with her that doesn't involve throwing our life away. I'd rather not die again, and I find it deeply disturbing that you seem to relish the thought of it.
Ela tá com energia muito
Because it
esquisita pra
doesn't
mim,
matter
véi.
if we die again. It'll just be another opportunity to have the fight of our life.
Yes.
We don't know that for sure, and I'd rather not bet on it.
Será? Então você realmente lembra de mim?
No, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my
Eita porra.
life. So, why don't we do it again? Or are you scared I'm going to put you down for good this time?
Eita!
Are you just going to
Melhores-
let her talk to us like that? We're not scared.
Melhores 3 minutos da minha vida. Foi isso que ela disse.
I think my position on violence in this situation is already more than clear, but you really shouldn't let yourself be goaded so easily. There's more at risk in this encounter than your fragile ego.
I agree. If we're going to fight her, we need a weapon.
Preciso de armas. Não se preocupe, na verdade eu só vi uma arma que eu achei. Uma faca seria injusto. O João subir, pegar a escadeira e pegar o punhal. Não estou com medo de você. Na verdade só vim pra conversar. Não estou com medo de você.
Then prove it. Come a little closer.
Eu vou. Chegue mais perto.
You
Aproximar-se.
take a cautious step towards the princess, unarmed. I wish I could believe you know what you're doing, but you clearly don't. You stop a few feet short of her reach, her chains taut as she stares down at you.
Caramba, ela é muito alta, velho.
She's a lot bigger than I thought she was.
Why do you sound so scared? We can take her.
Será?
Well, what do you want? Because every second we waste talking is a second we could
Cadê?
spend killing
Give her
each
the
other
look.
instead.
The look, cadê? Give her the look. Por que você quer que matamos outro? Se você está só querendo porque então significa que você realmente não deixa liberdade, então eu devo descobrir o que trancaram embaixo por um motivo. Pegar a faca que nos tem para a princesa. Não lembro que você dá meia volta, blá blá, aqui, deixa eu ver. Por que você quer matar os outros? Morre não acaba, então se você quer lutar comigo, se não deseja mesmo a liberdade,
Here you go again, talking about my freedom.
é, sua freedom.
The princess glances down at her chains.
If you're talking about these, they're nothing.
She steps forward,
Ela
her
vai
bindings
quebrar, né?
creaking under the pressure of her strength. And then they
Caralho, o Hades não pode ver esse
It was
jogo
only a
não,
matter
velho.
of time, but she's loose.
Olha aí.
Dear Lord.
What do we do? Oh, if
Se
only
ela
there was
quisesse
some
matar a
sort
gente,
of
já tinha matado.
weapon you could use to fight a world-ending monstrosity. I wonder where you might find one of those.
Just do exactly what I've been telling you to do since the second we got here. Take the blade, fight her, kill her, and win.
Né.
What? Did you think you were safe standing right outside my grasp? The only reason I haven't drawn blood is because I want to make sure that your heart is in it. I don't like fighting someone with a weak spirit.
Pusilânimes, eu não sei nem o que é isso, velho.
But go ahead. Keep trying my patience.
Eita. Motivo, se não quer saber o motivo, já faz questão de lutar com você. Eu sei, depois que
I
você
woke
morreu.
up, didn't you?
Eu despertei você. Para não estar diferente. Para não estar diferente.
I like it. It's so cramped. Like the only way out of here is through each other.
Calma aí, Vegeta. Ou podemos sair um atrás do outro fazendo fila.
I know. You already told me.
Já me faz assim.
That's right. Not everything has to be so violent.
That's pathetic. I would never do that, and I hate that you even suggested it.
Eita. Não acho, mano. Não tem
You
ferimento.
don't either.
Sério? Eu não pretendo. Se você só quer, não pretende acabar com o mundo.
The world? If there's a world, I haven't seen it. There's you, and there's me, and there's the ground beneath our feet. Why would I care about ending something I've never seen?
I believe in her. Que você quer matar? Tem esse mulher aqui, trancaram aqui embaixo pro motivo.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Ok?
Why wouldn't I want that? Why don't you want that? It felt good last time. It felt right.
Agora é a hora desse áudio. Agora é o momento perfeito.
And it makes sense.
Cara, ele parece realmente tá... Se eu falar não lutarei com você, ela vai me matar, não vai? Eu vou ser pacifista, não lutarei com
What are you
você.
trying to do? Do you think pacifism is going to win her over? Because it won't.
Right? This isn't fun, this isn't interesting, it's pathetic and cowardly and boring.
Is that so? Let's see if you still feel that way once I start
Sabia.
beating you.
You don't see the impact, and you can't say for sure if you even feel it. But you hear your bones splinter, and you can feel your feet leave the floor as you're hurled bodily into the unflinching stone wall.
We're fine.
Calma bem.
Are we fine? Are we really?
Não.
No, you're obviously not fine. Your body is broken.
Frangalhos.
Enough games. Go upstairs, pick up that knife, and fight me.
Eu não consigo
That's what she
levantar.
said. That's what she said.
Moment, you're fine. Now get up.
What are you made of? Tissue paper? I didn't hit you that
Eita.
hard.
Eita! Se quiser pode me matar, não será capaz de mudar minha opinião.
Is this a trick? Are you tricking me?
Não.
Because why would you? Why wouldn't you?
Por quê? Por quê? Ah,
The princess's shoulders tense with fury as she storms towards you.
eita.
You can see her face flush, her knuckles going white as she clenches her fists, her entire body trembling with a burning rage.
Can't
Eita.
believe you're making me watch this.
Pode ter mostrado.
Fine. If you want to die like a pathetic little worm, you can die like a pathetic little worm.
Caralho. Ela é o Vegeta, né, velho? Todo
Guess
dia.
I'll see you all next time. She reaches
Valeu.
down and grabs you by the throat, lifting your limp form and slamming it forcefully against the wall. Her eyes twitch as her grip tightens around your neck.
Cara, o Hades não pode ver esse jogo, não.
She sure is taking her time, isn't she?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you letting me do this? Why are you making me do this? Why won't you fight back?
Não deixou de ser relevante. Ele quer lutar ou não lutar se tu termina da mesma forma. Querendo vocês um contra o outro, se aceitar morrer. Eu me importo com você e não quero mais te machucar.
You care about me? But what is that supposed to mean? If you cared about me, you'd fight me. You'd understand, but why are you trying to make me think?
Literalmente isso, sabe? Literalmente isso. Você está tentando fazer
Her grip
refletir.
hardens.
Se abre,
Do you feel a horrific pop in your neck?
you die.
She releases you, your numb body crumpling to the stone floor as your vision starts to fade.
What am I supposed to do without you?
Eita!
I guess I'll see you all next time. I can say that now.
O que eu vou
right?
fazer sem você? Conquistamos ela, mano. A gente conquistou ela. Depois de uma luta.
Great. I can't wait to be stuck in this useless body all over again. I won't be seeing you, but I suppose something like me
Tudo
will.
fica escuro, você morre.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Como é que será que ela vai estar na próxima vez, hein? Liberte o poder do pacifismo em sua inimiga. Oh! A
You're
fúria.
on a path in
Eita,
the woods,
caralho, que porra é
and at
isso?
the end of that path, I think I've heard this one before.
A voz
Does
do
it involve a
apático.
princess? Are you trying to get us to do your dirty work?
Nossa, o Hades teria um sonho aqui.
Yes. So you've been here before, and died here before.
Que tá tudo tão nojento.
Yeah. Twice.
Duas vezes é muito três.
more than that if we don't suck it up and actually fight her this time.
Ô, louco.
You
Machista.
didn't fight her.
Não tô contra.
She wanted a rematch, and we wanted to see what would happen if we didn't give it to her. She got so very, very angry with us. And you got so very angry with us too. It was amusing. I'm sorry, you thought that was amusing?
Fun. Dá um pouquinho, vou mudar a música. A música tava baixa.
Oh, you're funny. There's no such thing as heroism when you can never truly die. All we did was look at the same old thing from another angle.
Eita,
Oh, will
verdade.
both of you just shut up? As we've now established, you've already been here, and based on your behaviour, I think we can all agree that things are not going well.
Nah, it's
Look,
fine.
You're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better
Cara,
take
boa
things
música, tá massa a
seriously.
música. Prosseguir em silêncio até a cabana.
Good, we're all on the same.
Poxa, a cabana tá igual. O chão não, o chão parece um... Parece o cérebro.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
Yeah.
That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch.
Vamos até a cabana. Eu não vou levar a faca de novo,
The
hein.
interior of the cabin is
Caralho,
a
que
place
porra é
that feels
isso?
long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high-arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight.
Tá, eu tô muito curioso pra saber como ela vai
That is
estar,
how it
velho.
was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid
viscoso.
seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
É,
That's horrible. It's
caralho.
just meat. If you cut us open, I'm sure we'd look the same
A
inside.
voz do apático.
That's why it's horrible. And that
Ah.
attitude is why you're miserable.
Ô, louco.
The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Nah. Você não me ensinou o espelho dessa vez, por quê?
Mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the basement. Just tell us where the door
Esse
is.
voz do apático é o
I'd like to
Corona
get back to
todinho, né,
fighting.
velho?
If you want us to kill
Igualzinho.
her so bad, I'm sure you'd feel the same. No more messing around.
No more mess.
Oh, you're so impatient.
Aff.
We can look around the meat shack if we want to. It's not like the princess will be leaving without us. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or
Será?
you're seeing things. That
Uma
seems
porta,
far.
pode ser uma porta de vidro, é verdade.
What are you trying to say exactly? It means you're hallucinating.
Maybe.
It's in our way. Let's just smash it.
Nah. Massa do espelho, sem a
You
faca.
step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange.
Ué,
It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? Wipe
ok.
what clean? Are you still on about that mirror? It's not real. I'd know about it if it were real. No, we
Tem um
can't
espelho bem
bow
grande
our
aí,
eyes
mano.
like that. It has to be real. Let's just smash it and get it over with. I'm ready to get violent.
Que
We
isso?
won't be able to see what's in there if we smash it. It's just a mirror. What we do with it doesn't really matter.
É, porque ele é. O dublador é britânico.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how
Os
you
dois,
handle it
inclusive, eu
doesn't
acho.
matter. Aside from wasting dangerous
Tanto ele
amounts of
quanto a
time.
princesa são britânicos.
You
Limpar o
reach
espelho.
forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement.
Ele eu tenho certeza que é, a
As if
princesa
on
não.
command, it slowly
Mas eu acho
slides
que
open.
os dois são. Ah, até é verdade. É bom salvar, né?
Why am I not
Isso
surprised?
me impressiona.
You step forward into the darkness.
A escuridão.
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped,
Tumores
At once
perturbantes.
exposed and
Protuberantes.
The air is thick, its odour an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood
Porra. Sentindo sangue fresco se misturando com as brasas nauseantes de restos carbonizados. Você precisa vir aqui sem falar
her
provavelmente um
voice,
favor.
a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
So you've returned after denying me the salvation of combat? Are you here to gloat? Are you here to mock what I've become? Do you think that if you let me kill you enough times, I'll suddenly soften and repent for sins that live solely in your head?
Meu
Well, we've
Deus.
tried that, haven't we? Now come down and see what your refusal has done to me. See how much you can bear to witness the consequences of your actions.
Tá bom.
We've changed her, have we? I'm intrigued.
Continuar descendo a escada.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Matadão.
The chamber's walls are painted in blood.
Caralho, que
a
é
deep,
isso?
sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
Ela literalmente virou o
The
demônio, velho.
princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
Matar.
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh.
Eita.
And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears.
Eita.
It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
Oi.
She is loose, and she is coming for you. I like this
Eita.
one. Let's see her do her moves. Let's see if she can make us actually
Gostei
feel
dessa aí.
something.
O que é isso na cabeça dela?
However she wants to make us feel, I think it's gonna be bad. But bad is so much more interesting than numb. Gah! Stop it with all this talk about feelings. The only feeling that matters is the rush of victory. I don't even
Será?
have a weapon. It doesn't matter. I refuse to go out any way that isn't kicking and screaming.
Ouça o que eu digo, revidade. Deixá-la acabar com você. Segundo. O que aconteceu com você?
Time happened. You happened. But none of that matters. We're together again. and I'll have the resolution you denied me.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
Eita.
No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that.
Caralho, ela fez.
She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality. Oh, it's like I said. Our
Ela
insides do
não
look
gostou
like
do que aconteceu.
In the end, we're all just meat. In the end? Just because she's ripped us open doesn't mean this is over.
Só porque ela estripou.
How is it not over?
Don't think that I'll allow you death here. I've made that mistake before. No, you will suffer until you see in me what I have seen in you.
That's how. It would seem, somehow, that she is keeping you alive. A challenge,
Yeah.
then. Sure. Let's see how far we can take this.
E por que você quer que eu veja?
But the words don't leave your metaphorical mouth. Instead, all that leaves you is a wet and horrible gurgling as tissue vibrates out of place. Our metaphorical mouth.
Nossa boca metafórica.
Oh, I didn't leave you a mouth, did I?
No.
It's better that way. Words get us nowhere. They aren't music. They aren't dance. They aren't feeling.
Your eye, held far outside your skull by a thin stalk of nerves and viscera, stares back at her in unblinking silence.
Let's see what meaning we can find together. Let's see what we're made of.
Como assim?
Something infiltrates you. Though you do not see it, you feel it, slithering into your disaster of a body, seeping into the gaps between your molecules. The
Que?
body of a sapient creature has, on average, 30 trillion cells. And each one of those cells is composed of 100 trillion some odd atoms.
Ok.
One of those cells is peeled from the others. 100 trillion atoms are gone.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Of course we are.
Ok.
Then 2 are peeled away. Then 4. This is nothing. Nothing! 8. 16. 32.
Que é isso, mano?
64. Ah, so the waiting is the torture.
Ela tá torturando
I
a
do
gente.
hate dull things. 128. 256. 512.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
1024. 2048. 4096. 8192.
Vai ficar dizendo até o fim?
I could have sworn I felt something. 16,384. 32,768. 65,536.
Ok.
You can't just count us into oblivion.
Ele tá.
131,072. 262,000.
Será que ela não tem redenção, mano?
524,288. What happens when it gets higher? Like,
Ih, tá apagando.
really higher? We die, probably. Or nothing happens. Just like nothing is happening now. 1,048,000. The hundreds don't matter anymore.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Você vai perguntar isso?
2,096,000. 4,192,000. 8,384,000. I don't like this waiting. You're going to give up before you even start hurting, aren't you?
Sei lá. Rapaz, tá difícil descobrir agora, não tenho como falar. Porra, é isso?
16,768,000.
O que tá vendo aqui?
33,536,000. 67,072,000. Your eyes are useless. 134 million. The thousands don't matter anymore. Your blood begins to go places it shouldn't.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
There's the pain. I can feel it now. But we can handle this. We can't let her win.
Ai, não tem como fazer
If you
mais
make this
nada.
about winning and losing, you're going to lose. You're too connected to your body.
Que é
268
isso,
million.
véi?
We don't need to count anymore. Your lungs fill with liquid. You smell things you shouldn't. You choke on pieces of what used to be you.
Ok.
Doesn't matter, because we're still alive.
You are deconstructed. You are reconstructed.
Que?
A square you, a round you, a you with too many legs, a you with many mouths which won't stop screaming. Then all of it pressed into a ball, tightly packed into the size
Que
of a fist.
porra é isso?
What does you even mean anymore? We just keep changing into horrible things we can't control. Make it stop, please. Make it stop. Please make it stop.
You means we exist. And if we exist, then there has to be a way for us to win. Otherwise, this would just be pointless. It would all just be pointless torture.
Yes, she's torturing us. That's the whole point of this exchange. Haven't you been paying attention?
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Yes.
No. Que?
The ball is unraveled into the shape of a body. The skin peels off in a corkscrew. The eyes are plucked. The organs arranged in the air in a neat row.
Que é isso?
Are you still there? Are you still you?
A gente ainda ganha.
No.
Não.
Yes.
Yes.
You are stretched into a line 12 feet long, then 24, then 48. The line gets thinner as you get longer. A mile. 2. 4. 8.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Yes.
No.
16. 32. 64.
No.
64? 96, tá errado.
128.
Tá errado, 192, tá fazendo errado.
I'm still me. You are
Que
stretched
é isso?
and stretched and stretched until you are longer than the world itself. You wrap around it again and again and again. A tense line of microcosmic
Ela
tissue
não
held
escuta as
together
vozes
by
da nossa
forces
cabeça.
that are far too weak for the task they've been given.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Do
A
I
voz
have
dela
to
tá
keep
mudando.
answering? And then the forces disappear. The bonds holding your cells together break. You are 30 trillion little pieces.
Ó a cara dela aqui, ó.
All of them separate. And
Ela
all
tá
of them
sentida.
falling.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
You sit in these 30 trillion places, each second passing in each of them before you arrive at the next. Each second passing as 1 million years. And so, you wait.
Acho que... Sei
That's
lá.
all I have.
Acho que não. Isso
And
é tudo
then
que eu
all
posso
at once,
fazer.
there is a great rewinding, and all of the disparate pieces that once were you fall dutifully back into place. You are whole again, and in your body, the body you had before all of this happened, and the princess sits against the wall, her dress of skin more tattered than before, her face sullen and disappointed.
Ué.
You left me, and there's nothing I can do to bring you back.
Oh, she's been like me this whole time.
Eita.
She's just been hiding it.
Minha mãe está me mandando mensagens. Eu me perdi todinho. Eu não parti, estou bem aqui. Eu nunca parei de me importar com você, mas você deixar toda essa dor de lado. A vida é mais que violência e dor, não podemos fazer isso. Não gostei de lutar contra você quando eu continuo sem querer lutar. O que você esperava fazer tudo aquilo? Você parece tão estranho como se fosse uma pessoa completamente diferente de quem quando começou a me despedaçar. Pela segunda. Então esse é seu limite. Eu nunca parei de me importar com você, você precisa deixar toda essa dor de lado.
How? It's all I've known.
Você poderia ir embora comigo.
After everything I've done to you, you'd really take me with you?
Sim. Só queria mais coisa. Não, eu não sei porque ele ofereceu
Are
sua
you
mão a ela.
serious? You're just offering her your hand.
Claro.
You cross the room towards the princess, extending your hand to her. Her eyes, deep wells of buried sorrow, meet yours for a moment. You despicable fiend.
Que é isso, mano?
And then she takes your hand in hers. You're going to end the world, don't you get it? I can't let that happen. I can't let you leave. I have to... You have to what? Stop us. You leave me no other choice.
Eita.
You are nothing but a witness. Fine. You and the princess climbed the stairs out of the basement together. In silence. No embellishments. No flowery text describing what kind of silence we share. You've really given up,
Ele desistiu.
haven't you? I'm tired.
Tô cansado. Eita.
What a shame. But you should really keep going. You have a job to do, don't you?
Caralho, o apático tá com tudo, hein, mano.
And then you cross the upstairs of the cabin to the door, which you open. And then you step outside and into the ruins of the world you left
Eita. Ela foi embora a voz dele.
behind. So he's gone too. It's just you and me now.
Is this the world? It's so cold.
Levaram ela. Olha aí, ela teve redenção. Quer dizer, um tipo de redenção. Ela. Se não teve chance de responder, nem terá hora de partir. A
So
memória
that's a
retorna.
wrap.
Enquanto
I
um
didn't
novo
think we'd ever
começo
get
com
here.
uma adversária
There's only
desprezada.
one thing left to do.
Tô muito curioso pra ver as porcentagens de conquista desse jogo. Porque, tipo, é muito final, velho. Caralho! 5,5% essa agora, mano. Essa conquista é rara, mano. 5,5%. Aí sim, velho. Peguei uma primeira. Eu quero tentar pegar a conquista rara. Esse vai ser meu objetivo. Um inchaço. Você cresceu. Ok, não entendi muito bem nada, mas tudo bem. O silêncio mais uma vez. Eu acho que todas têm a redenção e a queda, tá ligado? Acho que, por exemplo, se você fizer aquela que você transforma ela em bolsa, tem como deixar ela má e vice-versa, sabe? Eu acho que é isso, pelo menos. Provavelmente tem um final que ela vai ser sempre 100% má e 100% boa e vice-versa. Pelo menos eu penso assim, mas no geral acho que todos devem ter.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement.
I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Vou fazer um full pacífico agora então. Acho que depois eu vou fazer um full foda-se. Vai ser um full pacífico agora, depois eu faço outro. Acho que eu vou fazer o full ball.
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am. What I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Yeah. Você vai pensando, será que tem uma resposta direta? Isso mudou. Qual é a sensação de mudar assim?
Eyes close in reflection.
Ok, isso não responde minha pergunta.
Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together.
Então, os finais, pelo que eu entendi dessas vezes que eu joguei, os finais eles não se repetem na mesma run. Então, tipo, só se você fazer, se você começar o jogo do início de novo, aí poderia repetir. Mas acho que nessa eles não repetem, sabe? Você não tem como repetir, eu acho. Não 100% igual. E eu fiquei, são muitas escolhas diferentes.
It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Você tem esse mesmo com a pessoa que encontrei.
Why
Obrigado.
wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Não, é muito conteúdo, pô. Quer que eu entrar da próxima vez?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Por vezes me cercasse, porque eu não consigo fazer. Aqui, ó. Quando eu volto é como se um aparelho invisível me cercasse, porque eu não consigo fazer as mesmas coisas que eu já fiz antes. Ok, o jogo aqui basicamente acabou de responder que você não pode repetir as coisas.
Those paths lead to worlds
Aí,
you've
ó.
already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now,
Useless.
inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
O jogo respondeu a tua pergunta, sabe? Ele discutou, mano. Ele discutou. Não queria machucar, mas...
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me.
Ok.
The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before.
Em resumo, ela liberou pra gente ser cuzão, velho.
I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Oh. E se eu não entrar mais na peste, se eu ficar só com você pra sempre?
Then we will remain here as we are now, barely finished, damp, cavernous.
Vamos salvar aqui, só pra eu ficar aqui com ela e ver que se eu ganhar alguma conquista. Junpeia no farofa. Desiniciou The Darkness 2.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Em my swimsuit. Esperar para sempre.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished.
Será?
What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
Yes. Eu tenho uma caixinha aqui
If you
sua já.
close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Oh. Alô. Ela fechou meu jogo. Ela fechou o jogo. Eu pensei que tinha crashado. Acho que ela não lidou bem não, mano. É, eu fiz certo de salvar. Ah, imagina a situação. Carai.
You have returned to me,
Olha!
though you were gone mere
Eu não
moments.
precisei salvar, velho. Eu ganhei uma conquista ainda por isso. Caralho, véio, que foda. Ela realmente fica esperando você, velho. Que massa. Olha aqui, ó. Eu nunca saí do seu lado dele superar seu destino esperando o fim. Essa é 50%. Muita gente fez essa daí. Caralho, que foda. Eu não precisava nem salvar, velho. Estou pronto para voltar.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am.
Muito massa, mano. Esse jogo é muito
We will
bom.
meet again.
Porra. Escuro você vai morrer. Leve a fúria para ela.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path
34%
is a
da
cabin.
fúria.
And you're here
Eita.
to slay her.
Ah, droga. Para pensar talvez que... Eu vou
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Ok. Pode dizer que vai ser o
It's
prêmio.
a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Macaco. Tá bom, vou seguir em silêncio.
You make your way up the short path.
Vamos sem nada. Essa é a pacifista agora, né?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Ela sabe quando a gente tá. Quando ele vai com a faca, ela fala mais de um jeito mais. Tipo, ela como se ela soubesse que a gente tá, que ela tá ingênua.
Hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Eu vim aqui. Quando tá descendo a escada, só quero ver como você está. Eu vim salvar
How many
você.
times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Claro, o herói tem que salvar a
Wait,
princesa.
You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
Forever.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
Não queira não, a gente é feio.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist. binding her to the far wall of the basement.
A parte legal é que quando a gente bugou, a gente acabou pegando acho que uns 5 finais de uma vez, que eram alguns dos finais que eu peguei no primeiro jogo, então a maioria não deve ser final repetido, eu acho.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Riding.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever.
Também.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
No.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Eu espero que seja, só tô teorizando, não sei não se é.
You're only making this more difficult.
Essas cenas aqui são repetidas, já que eu lembro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Essa tá no trailer, na verdade.
You're making a huge mistake.
Huge.
No, you're doing the right thing.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
No.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Será? Você tem uma outra ideia?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
Talvez.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Ok.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
Talvez.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Slide.
Is someone else here?
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Locked.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Nah.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
Mess.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Sim.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates
Eu
before
lembro
raising
dessa
her
cena.
arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Essa cena eu lembro.
Or we could use it to free her.
Eu já fiz essa run aqui do
You won't
pacifista, eu
like
só não
what
sei.
happens if
Eu
you
só
do
tô,
that.
eu tô curioso pra saber se vai ser diferente ou não. Salvar a princesa.
Fine.
Aff.
Against your better judgment, you place the
Oh,
blade
zoinho.
against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her
Olha, não sei se dá pra tu ver, mas agora a faquinha da mão pra faquinha, ela tá com sangue. Que detalhe
Her
massa.
limb falls. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
No, she didn't.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Vamos.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Ele tá controlando a
Wait.
gente.
This isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Watch me.
Eita.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Eu tô
Your body
tentando.
lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Será?
The
Desisti.
blade. Move the blade.
Nhé.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
Yes.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
The right thing, man.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
For her.
For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of
Porra.
whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
Ai.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Ai.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
No.
Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
Eu acho massa como ela se adapta ao jeito que a gente tá jogando, sabe?
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor,
Collapse?
your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right?
Não.
Oh, that's rich coming
Oh,
from you.
ela tá chorando.
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
Ah, eu fui sozinho, não me envolva com um herói
Everything
não,
goes
mano.
dark, and you die.
Porra. A donzela.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end.
End of the world. No.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he
Yes,
doesn't
it does.
remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Ah, eu lembro sim.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Acho que é o Sora, né, que chegou, que ele reagiu ali a mensagem. Deve ser ele. Eu não consigo ver quem foi. Foi o Sora mesmo? É o Sora. Salve, Sora. Sorrateiros.
Beloved?
Nossa amada, assim.
Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Sora ama o sábio. É isso aí.
So all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
We'll see about that.
Obrigado,
Whatever you
Sávio,
do, just be
por
sure
dar
to
um
ignore
sub
him
para o
specifically.
Sora
Sounds
ama o
like he's the
sábio.
sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Isso aí, mano. O que você daria ouvidos a você? Prosseguir até a cabana, vamos.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do
Cheat.
everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
She will shit.
Don't believe.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's
Slay
your
the princess,
lies that
Sora.
can't be trusted.
Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
É um visual novel meio que roguelike, com várias escolhas e vários finais.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Yes.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them.
A rota pacifista é a rota do romance, basicamente.
Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Você até acabando. Eu esqueci qual foi o primeiro que encontrou lá. Aquela é massa, que queria jogar a coisa pra fora.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant. Its stone walls
É, eu acho que eu
draped
repeti
in
aquele
fine
final do
threaded
pacifista do
tapestries.
primeiro.
A prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden... The blade is your implement.
Vai precisar
You'll need
dele.
it if you want to do this right.
Aproximar-se do espelho. Se não for lá do espelho, entrar na porta.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches.
Ah, esse aqui é
positioned along the
legalzinho.
walls.
É um
The
final
basement
realmente
almost
bom.
seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone
Você pode ser
basement.
muito cuzão, porque
The
tipo,
princess lives here. Slaying her is
você
probably
pode
doing
matar
her a
ela
favor.
aqui. Você pode pegar a faca e simplesmente matar ela depois daquele amor todinho da primeira.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Olha, a
Her
voz dela ficou mais
voice.
fina.
It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
Podia matar assim.
I've held my tongue
Eu não
till
consigo,
now, but
não.
you're taking this a little too far. We barely even
Mano,
know
eu não
the
consigo
princess.
ser
We can
maldoso,
still
eu não
do
consigo
right by
trair
her
não.
without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Ei, eu não traio
You
ninguém.
walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Ela tá mais anime
There's a
agora.
heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
Injusto e
You
vil.
know she can't hear you, right?
Nah.
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Yes.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. She
Dashing.
called us a hero.
Hero.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Sim, fácil.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Nah.
That's right, villain. And you killed us.
No.
She killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
Yes.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
Oi. Mel chegou.
We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
É horrível. Essa faca, preciso cortar de novo. Você me matou da última vez, deu bastante. Por que fez isso? O que aconteceu depois que eu morri? Vou perguntar por acaso se destruiu o mundo. Sinto muito pelo que aconteceu da última vez. O narrador me foi bastante
If another
injusto.
version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
Never. Mel.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Oh.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect.
Perfect!
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
É.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
Será que não tem?
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
É, isso aí. O que aconteceu depois que eu morri?
You died, and now we're talking.
Ah, ok. Eu preciso rodar de novo?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
Não, não
We
quero.
won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
As alergias estão batendo. Ela vai ter que tomar corticoide.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand
Au,
through
au,
the
au,
chains.
Mel. Au, au, au.
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
Maybe.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
No.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we?
Será?
We warned her
Será?
of cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Será?
No,
Tá brincando.
I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll... You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
Again.
I would if you had a weapon.
Ha.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't.
Yes,
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
True believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
Yuck.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Yeah.
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love?
Power of love. Poder do amor.
What do we do now?
Não sei. O que você quer
Let me
fazer?
guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
Ô louco.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't...
Porra. Vai me salvar, já tá aí, né? E se ela não entender, se ela não quiser acabar com o mundo.
Gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
Sim.
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep
O
reflection.
cara simplesmente disse: Você é o Crona, mano.
And then she shrugs.
Ela dá os ombros.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Quero você
I
feliz,
just
você
want to
quer.
make you happy.
Eu só quero fazer você feliz. Eita, ela tá ficando mais
She
desenho
can't
animada.
just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the
A
same
música
for
tá meio
us.
distorcida. quero que você me faça infeliz. Mas o que faria
I
você
just want to
feliz?
make you happy.
Eita porra.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Não. Eu nem queria minha
Okay,
felicidade.
I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I failed to see
Ela tá
the
virando
problem.
desbolso, mano.
She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
Estou com medo que tal não fazermos nada, só ficarmos aqui assim, ninguém se machuca. Você deve querer alguma
I
coisa.
just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're
Eu
alone
vejo pra
right
sempre
now?
tudo que ela queria.
Like we're the only ones here?
Ih. 32% isso. Meio bosta, honestamente. Podia ser bem melhor. Acho que eu vou acabar por aqui por enquanto. Eu tô com sono já. Eu vou acabar por aqui. Esse aí foi bem merda, honestamente. Esse daí do final bom. Que isso, meu? Bem meh. O final bom. Eu esperava mais. Ah, não, pera aí. O outro foi massa, pô. O segundo final. Os dois primeiros finais foram muito bons, velho. O segundo foi muito bom, pô. A história do segundo foi muito massa. A história do primeiro foi legal. A gente ter quebrado o jogo na primeira run foi muito bom. E a segunda foi legal também, do mistério lá, pá, tal. Achei interessante. Mas eu tô curioso, eu quero tentar. Eu não vou tentar fazer o final maléfico, porque eu já fiz da outra vez e eu não quero fazer de novo. Eu queria ver. Eu quero como se fosse alternar as escolhas, tipo, começar matando, depois sem matar e matar de novo, sabe? Tentar dar uma balanceada mais nisso. Aí eu quero fazer algo mais diferente do que eu fiz, porque eu já fiz essa run pacifista da primeira vez e ela é igual. A diferença foi que eu não fiquei insistindo. Eu fiz o da traição também, o da outra vez. Eu fiz o da traição. E o Joe também fez o da traição na live dele. Aí eu sei bem como é, eu sei decorado como é. Mas esse jogo tem muita possibilidade, eu acho isso muito massa. Meu. Quando eu vi o Joe jogando esse jogo, eu vi a primeira run dele e depois, porra, eu vou comprar esse jogo e depois eu acho. Depois eu vejo ele fazendo. E foi isso que eu fiz. Bom, acho que sábado eu devo estar fazendo outra live. Talvez no sábado. Acho que no sábado, né? Acho que no sábado eu devo estar fazendo. Que amanhã não, amanhã eu vou sair. Hoje no caso, né? Que já é sexta. Enfim. Au revoir. Salut. Ah!